Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am Mike. I am here. T-Roy is here as well. Hello, T.
Hey, buddy.
How are you, pal?
Kind of on fire.
Yeah. I'm all right. I'm all right. I think I've gotten through the... Of course, we're talking about pinball injuries now. I'm through the original forearm ache, which is great. I powered through that. It took me a couple days.
Yeah, you got to pop those muscle cherries right up the bat.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I just played.
Yeah,
and
spectacular round.
I had a great round.
Indeed.
I really did.
Yeah.
And,
round of the game. I mean, that was
yeah.
grand champion on there.
Grand champion,
Not to be confused with Grand Wizard.
Yeah, no. I've been offered that, but I've never been a Grand Wizard or a Cyclops or any of those. No. Been offered many, many times, as you can imagine.
Yeah, every time you go to the meeting?
Yeah, every time we have one of our white rallies. You've been to a dozen.
Yeah,
or
of course, sure.
Over the years. Haven't had one in a while. We'll probably do.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time they offer it, it's like, the robes are just so gaudy. I mean, I'm not interested.
I can't wear white. I spill shit all over it. I just look like a hot mess.
Yeah. You end up looking like a tie-dyed mess if we have a barbecue, something like that with ketchup, mustard, relish.
Yeah.
It's just
not going to work out for
us. So,
especially after Labor Day.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do?
Oh,
you
4th
just shut
of
it
July?
down at Labor Day?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't wear the white robes
that's true.
after
You
Labor
can't.
Day.
Yeah, no. Well, you can if you want to be absolutely made fun of and look like a fool.
I mean,
but
who would do that?
we're not interested in that. So,
Nope.
We'll be supportive of our team, obviously. That's the way the world's shaping up. They want teams. So I guess we finally joined a roster, and, what are we going to do? But, yeah, I'm with you. I'm not into the white robes. I just can't do it. And the hats are goofy, too.
Yeah, a little too pointy for my likings.
And honestly, the names. Cyclops, Wizard, I feel like I'm in a Harry Potter movie. I just don't, rubs me the wrong way. But anyways, I had a rough day. I hope you did not. I'm rather embarrassed by this.
Nope. I'm guessing my day was better than yours.
I wouldn't say better. Mine was more embarrassing than anything. And I like you, T. You don't tend to judge. You're not a real judgy guy of other people's behaviors.
Sure. You do you.
Yeah. But I woke up at like 7 and let the dog out.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm going to lay down maybe another hour and a half, something like that.
Time to get up.
The time you think I got up.
2.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, maybe it's because you couldn't sleep because the TV was so fucking
You know what?
loud.
I am so sorry, buddy.
I know.
I am so sorry. You know what? That's not me.
I understand. Something switches over and happens. But you know how loud that it woke me out of a dead sleep?
Yeah. Usually it wakes me up out of a dead sleep. You know why you don't usually hear it? It usually wakes me up out of a dead sleep.
Yeah.
And I immediately shut the power off. I'm like, okay, it's late enough. We're not doing this. So what's happening is I go to my library, and I'm one of those people, I know it's bad, but I watch TV when I go to bed. And so I'll just throw something on, whether it's the end of a game or it's some stupid news program. I'll throw one of those on, and then when that ends, I'm probably usually asleep by then. Yeah. If not, I'll go on to a next thing, and I'll fall asleep definitely within that break. And then it goes on to the next recorded thing. Well, all these things on YouTube TV are on different networks. And some of them just feel like we got to do this with the volume. ESPN is what it is. So we record literally every college football game and every pro football game that goes. And so then it gets into the package, and it just goes to the next thing in the list and keeps going. When it hits ESPN, for some reason, it triples the volume.
Well, this was some sort of a Grateful Dead documentary. Which I woke up and I was like, oh, and then they started playing some music and I was like, okay. And then these guys were talking and I was like, oh, and I'm like, okay, I can probably manage to go through this, And then I was like, no, that's so loud. My God. I mean, it was like shaking.
If you hear it like that, I'm dead asleep.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, I didn't go to bed late. I went to bed at 11:30. That's. I mean, it's late for some, but it's not late for me.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to recharge them like that. I have
Holy
those days
shit,
where I just
dude,
gotta
I was
shut it down. I
embarrassed.
could sleep for a whole day.
Yeah. I was embarrassed because that makes sense more for you.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
wasn't
Than
gonna
me.
say it, but yeah.
No, it's not lost on me at all. It's not. But for whatever reason, and you know what I did last night that I haven't done lately?
What'd you do?
Took one of your caramels.
Oh,
which usually I won't wake up 3 times in the middle of the night with back pain. Yep. It lets me sleep through the night. Or loud TVs. It let me sleep through that. So I've talked to doctors, 3 doctors. One of them, apparently there's laws on the books. Like when I was going through initial back stuff and post, when they're giving you narcotics. If they're giving you any meds like that, you can't have any weed in your system. And they're looking for reasons to kick people out of doctors' offices. And so one of the three was like, absolutely not. You can't have any blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, man, I'm sure everyone says it to their doctor. I don't smoke weed.
It's medicinal.
But I'm like, no, it's purely medicinal.
I know.
My roommate makes these caramels. They're actually delicious. They don't get me high. I literally take them and then go to bed. So I'm just hoping to sleep through the night. I'm not looking for a buzz. I'd be honest with you. I've been honest with you about everything else I've ever done.
Yeah.
So it drives me nuts. But two of the three were like, hey, if you found something that helps you sleep and it's fucking got THC in it, we don't care.
Yeah.
Which has been great.
Yeah, they're coming around.
They are.
More and more.
I had one remember the original one I was telling you about that was just a dick?
Yeah.
And other doctors and people in the medical facility were like, yeah, never go back to him again. Fuck him. You know, he's one of those, knows it all. You know, younger guy, too, which was the weird thing. By younger, I mean 50.
Yeah.
But, you know, as far as the medical world goes.
Yeah. I just mean in the world of practice, he's a dinosaur.
Right, right. And just a cock. He was just a cock. And so I didn't know that was a real thing. You could just be like, yeah, fuck that guy. I'm out. But I got so many emails from people that were like, yeah, don't go to him again. Forget it. He's done. And so I switched it up and it was great. And then the next two were like fully on board with like, if you found something, if Troy's caramels help you sleep, by all means. And I was like, awesome. But maybe they helped me sleep too much yesterday.
Yeah. How you feel today?
I feel great.
Besides, shame.
Yeah, besides absolute shame. There's just something about it when you do something like that. Because I've definitely had that where if I wake up at noon, it's like, you piece of shit. You absolute piece of shit. But I try not to beat myself too much up about it. But 2 o'clock is so absurd. Yeah. And it would have been one thing if it was like, well, I was up till 4, I couldn't sleep, and and it's like, well, what do you expect? But that was a new one. So hopefully I can fall asleep at a normal time tonight because that was rather ridiculous. It was. But we're here,
You should
nonetheless.
be well rested now.
Yeah, I should be. And I feel like $1 million right now.
Perfect.
I feel wide awake.
There you go.
Which is not great because
And
I'd
now
like to go to bed in a few hours.
Now you'll be up till 4, and then the cycle starts over again.
Yeah. I got on the gold last night.
Okay.
Couldn't even do the football game. Like you were up and you went to bed relatively early, actually.
I didn't even see kickoff.
Yeah, and I had the pregame on, and I was like, oh, I'm not watching any of this garbage. So I shut that off, and I got on the gold, and I was like, well, I'll go back and check on the football game later. And I went back, and it was like 9-6, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this Jets-Bears shit. You know what I mean? Like if you've got a game going that's 9-6 or 8-12, fuck it, I'm out. If they're not my teams, no, I'm not doing the Bills, Broncos. I can't even stomach looking at Russell Wilson. I just can't. He's such a fraud as a human being to me. I've said it before. We're going to find something out about him. There's going to be some creepy shit that we find out about Russell Wilson.
Flyer to Epstein Island or something.
Yeah, something involving kids, something will be out there. He's just trying so hard to be this like perfect, virginal, but I just don't buy it. I don't think his game's that good. And, so I didn't watch. I stayed on the gold until 11:30 and then I just went to bed. But, I don't know why I stay on the gold. It's literally the same episode, every episode.
Every single time?
Every episode. There's
something goes wrong. Something breaks down.
Someone's got to
They got to fix it. They get on it. And then just by the end of the show, something else goes wrong.
Exactly.
Stay tuned for next week.
And these guys make a lot of money, and these guys make jack shit, and they can't figure it out. And their equipment is going down. Their sluicing machine is always fucking up. And it's like every time they'll have the interviews going on in the excavator or in the whatever the 220 they're in. It'd be like, now that we got that figured out, this is. If we could just keep this smooth sailing for the rest of the year, we're good.
We're all set. Just no problems.
We are good.
Everything's up and running.
We're gonna hit our goal. This is great.
7 minutes later.
More like 4 seconds later. Guys leaping out of an excavator. Shut it down! And they've blown something that you can't get a part for 2 months. And
got to drive up to Juneau. It's gonna take me 2 weeks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah. Nope.
I gotta tell you though. You've seen that episode for
times.
14 straight years, 25 times a year.
Yep.
It's funny. It's a fun show, watching those. And I get off watching the gold counts. I just do. It's impressive shit, what some of those crews are doing, collecting gold in Alaska or in British Columbia, wherever they're at.
Yeah.
The Yukon Peninsula. Is that British Columbia?
I believe so.
Ish?
Yeah,
Somewhere
in
in
that side, northwestern Canada.
They go to Alaska enough that I'm assuming that's like a puddle jump.
Oh,
That they're not.
Yeah,
it's not like
northwestern
flying.
Canada. That would do it.
Yeah,
Closer to the fucking Juneau or whatever up there in Alaska than anything else.
Yeah, and they seem like they're in little puddle jumper planes. So I'm like, that must be a quick flight. That must not be that big of a deal to go.
Yeah, you can get pretty far in a little puddle jumper.
Yeah, but not that far.
I mean, you're not flying across country or anything. But
no.
It's not like here to Lansing.
But that still has to be some sort of customs related thing, right?
Probably on some level. Although up there, I think they're all just, hey, John.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
That's what it seems
How's
like.
the kids, eh?
They pull when it's like, yeah, my girl's coming in for a week, and they land at the airport, and these guys literally just pull up, jump out, and hug her like as she walks off the plane.
I don't think that's the border that anybody's worried about. Between Canada and Alaska up there.
Yeah. Maybe, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Pretty loosey-goosey up there, I think.
Oh man, but between ESPN and Amazon Sports, YouTube so far at this point is not driving me nuts with their coverage of everything.
All right,
they're not trying to be politically involved or get into this branch instead of just doing sports like they did forever. ESPN is really on this kick of like, tons of people care about women's basketball. It's in the top 10 all the time. It's adorable. Yeah. It's adorable because nobody gives a shit.
Right. Nothing better than a good old-fashioned layup in the top 10.
Yeah, exactly.
And generally in the top 5.
Or a three-pointer in the middle of a game. It's like, okay.
Look at her crush those boards.
Yeah.
Smash that rebound and go up with a two-handed layup.
It's so funny. But I think this one is another one that's going to be probably disastrous for society, and that's just the way we are. We don't care. Money rules all. We know that.
That's true.
If you're,
very true.
So ESPN now it launched today in 17 states. ESPN Bet, which is great because we didn't have enough betting sites out there. There weren't good options really for bettors out there. So ESPN is in the betting game now.
Okay. Well, looking forward to getting all my free promotional bets there in the beginning, whatever my bonus is for them.
Yeah, if they offer you a free $1,000 bet.
Yeah, good old match on the initial.
Yeah. That's turning into kind of bullshit too, because it's like, hey, place up to an initial $1,500 bet, and if you lose, get $1,500 bets in
bets. In promotional bets.
Promotional bets.
It's
when
not
I did it,
cash.
It was just straight cash.
It was, but that was new to Michigan at that point. That was the first year we had sports betting.
Was it?
Earlier, first or second year.
Yeah.
That that was coming around. They were trying to get people on board. They got people on board now. They can start easing back, I think, on the throttle on the incentives they need to put out there.
Yeah. But it was like, well, it was
bet $1,000, we'll give you a hamburger.
Yeah.
All right. I like
cool.
hamburgers.
I love hamburgers. Get a vaccine shot. Get a free thing of fries from Shake Shack. Okay. So they're hoping to break through the already crowded sports betting market. Its partner, Penn Entertainment.
Oh boy, that's fucking Barstool.
Barstool.
I know.
Was.
I know, but that's what he just left. Well, I have a brain farting on his fucking name.
Portnoy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he just left.
Yeah.
And that was part of it, I think.
Was the betting?
Well, no. I mean that he got out of it, and then they were whatever.
That's exactly what it was. Penn Entertainment will pay ESPN $2 billion in cash and stock over the next 10 years to slap ESPN branding on its online and brick-and-mortar operation, previously known as Barstool Sportsbook. Penn ended a similar agreement with Barstool to team up with ESPN and looks to be chasing their losses.
Yeah.
They lost their partnership with Barstool, $923 million. Wow.
But I don't think that's a Barstool thing.
No, it's just using the brand.
Yeah. I don't know all the details on it. I know they had their little separation on that, and he was able to buy Barstool back or something back for $1 is what it was. I'm trying to remember.
Sold
all the
it for
details
$400 million and bought it back for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad
He
deal.
loves pointing that out when people point out he's a dumbass or whatever. He's like, yeah.
Well, that one I think you just fucking dumb lucked into in a way. Not dumb lucked into, but those are one in a million opportunities.
Well, the problem is something like Barstool Sports is Dave Portnoy.
Of course.
The Prez.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you sort of need him involved for the attitude more than anything that Barstool puts out there.
Yep.
And without him, if you think you're just going to make that like, some fucking typical USA.
You're watching those Rough and Rowdies they do?
No.
They do. In Portnoy, he commentates them. Those guys, him and Cat and whatever, a couple of those dudes. They do like the ringside announcing, and they have it's Rough and Rowdies, it's called, and like it's just normal people that go out there and fight. I mean, like in a ring, sanctioned. I mean, there's
a ref
and gloves and stuff like that. It's an official like fight.
Do they gas after 30 seconds?
Most of them do.
Yeah, they must.
There was a guy I just watched one the other day. It was a guy that was 5'9", a little bulldog, fucking hillbilly, and he somehow he called out. You can call out somebody to get the fight. However, this dude was 6'9". This guy was this fucking black dude was yoked. Right? Look, everybody's like, what the fuck is about to happen? It was the most uncoordinated black guy you've ever seen in your whole life. I mean, his punches were like this.
Yeah.
He was big. He was chiseled. He worked out every day. This other little guy was just, but he couldn't hit him. I mean, even when he did, he was just like
really?
Yeah. But
so is that like an office thing at Barstool? Like you can challenge? Like
no,
Fight Club.
It's not. No, it's not through the office. I mean, it's not like their people.
Oh, it's just random.
This is random people, like people, and it's a whole thing. Rough and Rowdy, you can look at it. I mean,
okay.
It's almost like UFC. Like they have events and they have a whole card of who's fighting and stuff. I don't know how you actually submit to get involved in it, but
yeah.
Some of them are pretty fucking entertaining, and these guys are hilarious. Doing the announcing.
Maybe we should do that, T.
Yeah, you and me? You gonna call me out?
No, not me and you. I don't want to fight anybody. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But get listeners and see if some of you two want to go head to head. We'll commentate it.
Yeah.
We'll
get some of our email beef settled.
Yeah, the Steve Scott thing that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Heated,
Very indeed.
Yeah.
There's only one way to settle it. In the square. In the squared ring.
So going back to ESPN and Penn, what could this partnership, what could make it profitable? When it comes to market share, FanDuel, 36% of the market share, DraftKings, 33%, and then there's everyone else.
Wow. Really? I thought MGM would be higher. I mean...
Yeah, I would too, but if they were at 20, that would still be everybody else.
Yeah, I guess. But,
I think
of everybody else like fighting over 3 and 5%.
Right.
I think of that,
which would still be a shitload.
It is. It's funny. It's a ton.
So ESPN Bet is acquiring Barstool's 3% share. For context, there you go. They had 3% of the betting market, believing it can flourish, even though Fox Bet recently closed up shop. ESPN and Penn outlined how they think ESPN Bet can become the worldwide leader in sports betting through content integration.
Yeah, see now they already have like the show, like some shows dedicated to that, as far as like the Bad Beat.
So many of them.
Yeah, it's getting more and more, and it's gonna get more and more.
Oh yeah,
this now,
dude. They even say it. It started last night on Monday Night Countdown. It's likely to never end.
No, and it will get worse. They're gonna have just hours of content.
And while some of the what do they call that? The stats they do. The crazy stats, about how fast a player's running or how
the
many
next gen
yards,
stuff.
The next gen stuff.
Sorry.
Like they're getting so fucking beyond the realm with that. I mean, my brother and I joke about it. We're talking about games. We're like, yeah, this is the first time since 1953 a center has high-fived a wide receiver, low-fived a running back, and then hugged his quarterback and got back to the sideline. It hasn't happened since 1957. Look, they're so absurd that it's just like, okay, what are we talking about anymore?
Right.
So that's just what we need is content integration with ESPN all over it.
I'd laugh. I was watching the College Game Day. I don't think it was last week, like week before maybe. And it used to be Bear was their big dude on the side, and he would pick games. And
I noticed he wasn't there this week.
He hasn't been there this year. I don't think. I think he's blown out.
Really? Why would they blow Bear out?
I don't know.
Okay,
but the new guy that was in there, was doing his bet, and they showed his stat line. This is their guy. This is their fucking ace in the hole, and he was like 6-22 on his picks for the year.
Wow.
So what the fuck are we listening to this guy for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could fucking blindly pick better than that.
Yeah, all that tells you is, take exact opposite of what this asshole
essentially,
says. Because you'd be 14-6 at that point.
Right.
If you did. Yeah. Do you want to Google what happened to Bear? Is he, blown out? Did he take another gig? So, potential existing clients, ESPN has 20 million fantasy sports users who could be converted into sports bettors. Boy, oh boy, that's just sounds dangerous.
December
to me.
3rd, 2022, he left ESPN.
Okay. Does it say where he went or why? I mean, because he was more of a producer than he was anything, and then they had this
after
cute
joining
little
Fox
segment.
Sports in February of 23, the network is debuting a new studio and podcast for their top-tier sports betting analyst, Chris the Bear Felicia. Felicia.
Well, now that they
Bear
have,
Bets, a Fox Sports gambling podcast, which will feature former NFL offensive lineman Jeff Schwartz, Geoff.
Oh, God, I hate him already.
And we were talking about how many Jews were in the league.
Yeah.
There's one.
Schwartz?
And it debuts on August 31st, so apparently it's out now.
Oh, okay. So I wonder if that had anything, if that's affected at all by Fox Bet.
Yeah. Right? Going under.
Closing shop recently. I wonder if Bear made the right decision.
I don't
there.
remember Bears numbers being spectacular either.
No,
Yeah.
like 50%, less than 50%.
And none of them are. I mean, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's funny is that these guys, even these, the Terry and Howie and these fucking clowns, they make their picks every week and they, brag about who's right.
Yeah.
Well, they don't pick against the spread.
No.
They just pick winners.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
When it's an 11-point fucking spread, it's not too hard to pick the winner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't be bragging about that. At least
I
these
know,
guys
and they brag about their
At least these guys
numbers.
picked against the spreads,
Yeah, for sure. Ad Blitz, which is great. It's going to make me watch more. When sports betting became legal in 2018, it felt like there was no escaping sportsbook commercials. No, it's all you see in the Super Bowl now. It's all you see on Sunday.
It's all we used to have. Now it's all weed billboards.
Yeah. ESPN could deploy that strategy again. My guess is they will 100% deploy that strategy again. Penn CEO Jay Snowden said he'd like to use Disney's available retail space as well, which is good news for gamblers hoping to one day place a 3-term parlay at the Magic Kingdom. I'm sure that's going to make their wives extremely happy. When you take the family and children to Disney World, Disney World in Florida, and your husband's drinking beers in their fake bar and placing three-team parlay bets all day. Awesome.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? ESPN is taking measures because people are concerned about the ethics. I'm sure they are. Sure, they're very concerned, especially ESPN.
Yeah.
Very worried about the potential ethics.
I mean, hell,
problems.
if these leagues are all in bed with them, what the hell? Who cares if a network's involved?
Yeah,
They don't control the outcome.
I care, but I understand why. Yeah. So ESPN is taking measures to avoid shenanigans. They forbid its insiders to bet on the sports they cover or appearing on the network's daily gambling show.
Okay.
Great. That'll work.
Perfect.
That'll work. You won't find a way around that at all. Among the many rules for its 5,000 employees, no betting on draft picks, which could be a direct response to the Athletic Insider and FanDuel partner Shams Charania tweeting ultimately incorrect information that shifted betting lines ahead of the NBA draft this year. Make no mistake, this is purely about money.
Oh, 100%.
That's all this
Only
is.
about money.
And what it does for society, God knows, and God, who cares?
No.
Who gives a shit? This is capitalism at its worst when you're talking about this stuff, because there used to just be I feel like anyways, an ingrained like, okay, we're out to make money. That's true. And it's just gotten progressively worse over time. But at the end of the day, there's a community involved. CEOs didn't used to make 4,000 times what their employees made.
Right.
Like that wasn't the way it was. It was like, yeah, maybe they made double. Maybe they made triple as the owner, but they didn't make private jet $5 billion.
Yeah, they didn't have $100 million golden parachutes and things like that.
No,
not at all.
And so this shit, like, this is akin to gambling is no different than alcohol abuse, drug abuse, anything like that. It's something that can bankrupt your family, destroy your future, have you robbing from neighbors. Like, it has the same sorts of things. Like, and look, man, there's plenty of people like you, Troy, like my brother, like Brandon, when I talked to him, and he sent me his, like, he's been betting since 2018. And it's like, he's placed $10,000 in bets in those 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And he's up $1,400.
Right on.
And it's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
That's someone who's not going in the doghouse. But there are so many people. I watched it firsthand with people that
I wouldn't be throwing
could
people's
afford
business
it.
out there like that, by the way.
Why?
I don't know, because fuck, it's nobody's business what somebody's betting and how much they're betting.
Well, you don't know that my numbers are legit.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be putting it out there. I'm just saying. Keep
well,
my numbers out your fucking mouth.
I don't even know your numbers. Couldn't care less.
Exactly.
But my point is, there are people that are in control like that.
What if
that
his
are
wife
placing-
listens and was like, "You told me you stopped betting"?
Yeah, that could be from 4 years ago that I'm referencing. Shut up. Jesus Christ. But there are plenty of people that get in way over their heads and don't see a way out, don't really have a way out. Can't
they
just
try and bet your way out of
shovel
it.
themselves out. They bet themselves out.
Yep.
And this is what's going to lead to there's no doubt it's in golf. You know, my brother is struggling to watch golf right now, and he's a golf nut. And he's like, dude, I'm telling you, like every shot. It's like, well, had you bet him to par the last hole, that 3-1 would have paid X, and like just crazy shit.
Yep.
Like every shot, they're trying to talk you into getting in-game bets
Because
going.
exactly in-game betting is getting bigger and bigger, and that's a scary one too. To where, you know, I don't know how much that can or will possibly influence outcomes, but
yeah.
the writing's on the wall for it. That's for sure. The one nice thing about this sports betting now, the way it is, as opposed to the old days with bookies and fucking juice and vig and shit like that, was that you don't have a line of credit with this stuff. I mean, you have to deposit money. You're betting money. Now, I'm not saying you can't afford to lose that money. I'm saying that you're not losing money that you don't have.
And breaking legs. And
Right. You know, back in the days, you lost, you went on a cold streak, you were into this guy for who knows, and it was all different. Could be $500, could be $500,000, right? Whatever it was, you don't have it to pay. Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to take a line of credit out with another bookie and try and get it back because you're cut off from this guy and you got 7 days to pay him.
Yeah.
Until some bad shit's about to happen.
Yeah.
You're not coming up with that money on your own. So the only thing you got is to start some credit somewhere else and
Move.
hope you get it.
You can move.
Well, you can try, but
Yeah.
so now at least, not that it makes it any more responsible necessarily, but you can only lose money that you have, not money that you don't have.
Yeah. Yeah. Which could be, you know, turns into putting your whole paycheck in.
I mean, again,
The next Friday.
I'm not saying that it's flawless, but it's not a floating line of credit of money that you don't have. If you lose money, it's already gone, it's done, it's over.
Yeah.
But you don't lose and then have to still pay more money that you don't have. It's already gone.
I'm not saying I know what the answer is. I'm not stupid enough to see that the road to hell is paved with great intentions, right? Like this all sounds fun and good, and it's great. You know, I got into it for half a season, lost everything in the initial bet, and then was out. It was like, fucking, I'm done. I don't have the money to do it anyways. But there are plenty of people that do, and they would tell me to shut up. Like, hey, be responsible with your stuff. That's all fine and well. The fact is most people are not.
Nope.
They're not. They're just not. And so where that goes long term is going to be someplace bad. And I know that, you know, the straight conservative side to me and capitalist side to me says, hey, man, go make yours while you can. And that's what ESPN's doing. They're going to make theirs while they can before sanctions come in and something else. But I don't think this does anything healthy for society. There's nothing good for society here.
Nothing.
Nope. This is potentially catastrophic for society when it's just normalized across the board that everybody bets on everything.
Yeah, there's no good to come of it at all.
None. So
even people winning,
yeah,
it's not necessarily good.
Yeah, and who's winning?
Yeah,
really?
nobody. I mean, the casino. That's it.
I mean, I like to see when they're eating $980 million.
And they're still not.
Yeah.
Because where did that money come from? All the other dickheads that lost bets are paying for all those wins.
But if they're in the whole $980 million, it sounds to me like
Penn you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's I don't know. I mean, that was some other stuff, but I don't know the whole ins and outs of that. But that wasn't strictly in. That's definitely not in betting losses. That's not where that loss came from. That's
yeah.
I mean,
I don't know where that comes from. They don't explain it. But
no, that's just business.
Everything,
I mean, whatever thing. Yeah, they were in the negative for being who knows, but for a million reasons. But that's not just. You know, they got cold on bets and everybody started beating them and took them for $900 million.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I see this getting to a place. It's too easy to get access to players. It's too easy to influence people. People are just influenced with money. They just are. And if bets are allowed that says so-and-so is going to drop 2 passes in a game, How hard is it to get to that guy and offer him
Yeah, I don't know.
$50,000 to drop
Austin
2
Eckler,
passes
I'm
in a
going to
game?
take that bet every week.
Right? There you go. There you go. You know, it's a lot easier for a prop bet like that.
Yes.
You know, the Super Bowl ones. You know, how long's the anthem going to be?
Oh, I know. The prop bets are crazy on this
Crazy.
stuff. I mean, that you can get into on that.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's only going to get worse.
I'm worried about society, T. That's all. I'm not saying we have to fucking pay for everybody and we have to do everything for everybody.
No.
Anything like that. But it's like there are some things that just become obvious.
Well, it's one thing for this to be, okay, so sports betting now through, I don't know, most states. I'm sure there's quite a few of them that's still technically illegal. And in fact, I know it is. Indiana was one. I wasn't even thinking. I was down there at my mom's for something, and I went to go put a bet in, not thinking that I was across state lines. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
And I probably could have gotten MGM Indiana, right? Because it's by state because you have to everything's
is it
regulated
legal
by
in
state.
Indiana?
I don't know. I'm just saying, but
Yeah.
I couldn't do it through my Michigan MGM app
Right.
because specifically.
How would that work with DraftKings? Because they're doing your location mark too.
Yeah.
When I first started, it
I
was,
should
it
say,
was legal
in
in Michigan, illegal in Arizona.
Yeah, it might not be on through those. They check your location, so that might be different. Mine's the World Series of Poker is Michigan. It's a poker app that I play on, but it's specifically just Michigan. So it's only people in Michigan that are playing it. It's only in Michigan. As soon as I go outside of Michigan, I can't play.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's how it was with the one I was doing. I can't even remember what it was. If it was DraftKings or it was either.
But it had to be because I did try to
DraftKings.
make I did try to make a bet,
And
and I
I
couldn't when I was in Indiana. And,
Well, the point I was making is G wanted to make bets, and he had to do it through me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because in Arizona, now it's legal in Arizona now.
right, exactly.
But
And
it wasn't
the
2
dominoes
years
will just
ago,
keep
so-
falling, just like weed.
Yeah.
You know? But we've gone to the point. I mean, where
But it's just the way things go. We mentioned it briefly yesterday. Weed. Fine. Weed's legal. Oh, yeah, we'll all play the game of medicinal. Even though it helps me sleep, I get it. But, do I believe that all these people are medicinally used?
Oh, of course not.
Of course not. Of course they're looking for a buzz. Fucking animals look for a buzz. It's part of our DNA. People looking for buzzes.
Yep.
So good for you if you're not seeking that out. Lots of people are. But it took 2 years before they started making super weed that'll fucking paralyze you on the couch for a month.
Couch lock, baby.
Yeah. I mean, it just doesn't surprise me. Do I think they're going to temper it down? No, of course not.
Why would they?
They're going to make it worse and worse and worse. It's why we can't have nice things. It's like, oh, yeah, someone needs a service animal on a plane. Okay, now we're into king cobras being on your planes and chickens and pigs.
Yeah.
Before they went, all right, you guys can't be trusted to do anything. We can't just allow you to have fucking one old lady with a fucking small dog on her lap.
I just looked at I just looked at that, looking into flying out of Florida,
Yeah.
and you can just pay to bring Bogey with me. I mean, it's like $200.
Probably because of his size, though, right?
No, didn't say.
Because you can't do that with a Doberman.
It doesn't say a size. It says they have to be at least 6 weeks old, and it
Potty trained and
yeah, but it doesn't say in the disclaimer stuff. It didn't say anything about the size, and doesn't have to be any kind of a registered thing. It just has to be in a carrier.
yeah.
But I guess if it'll fit in a carrier. But I mean, yeah, what are you going to do with a Doberman? A carrier this big? I don't know how that works.
But dude, I saw a Doberman. That's the reason I bring it up with a service animal.
But that's just so you don't have to pay for it, because then the dog gets on free.
I don't think so. I think you still have to pay for them.
It used to be. That was the point of it.
Yeah.
Is it wasn't a fee for the service animal.
I know G just got service animal accreditation for his mother-in-law's dog she's living in a over 55 community.
Okay.
And so they've got rules where you can have a dog,
But it has to be.
but it has to be like Bogey size. Can't be, too big. Maybe Cece would be okay at 40 pounds, but I think 55 pounds and over, whatever it is. And so then they're like, oh, you've got us in a loophole here where we can't boot you from the facility because you've got this service animal.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, let me know how to get that. I'm gonna get Bogey certified.
Yeah. Bogey, Bogey's a lap dog.
Yep.
Bogey can sit on your lap, sit on your shoulder, not be a problem. Cece is a little more troubling. You know what I mean? Like you got to buy a seat for her because she's at this point just a little too big. You could do it, but be a pain in the ass to have her on your lap a whole flight.
Won't fit under the seat in front of you.
No,
The
but
overhead
Bogey's
compartment.
perfect. Bogey's perfect. You can throw Bogey on your lap, your shoulder, and no problem to anybody.
Right. I can throw them in my pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we'll get to Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
good.
only doing it for you.
Yay,
I know how
okay.
much you love her.
I know.
She's getting hammered.
Good.
And yeah, I love it. I mean, she is pure evil, T.
Yes, I
She's
know.
just pure evil. I'm sorry, she is. You might be a fan of her. Your little girls might be a fan of her. She's evil.
Don't. Pick somebody else.
Pick somebody else. There's lots of good people to look up to. At this point, look up to Taylor Swift. I don't have a problem with that.
That'd be
Taylor
better.
seems like a good person.
Be way better.
You know, maybe Taylor will turn out to be a psychopath cunt, but for right now, she seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
Megan Rapinoe seems like a absolute monster who will corrupt your kids.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe she'll turn out to be okay.
Maybe he will. I doubt it.
No.
Police have arrested a man on suspicion of manslaughter in the death of Adam Johnson, who died after his throat was slashed
Oh, the hockey.
Yeah.
I knew they were investigating it.
by the skate of Matt Petgrave back on October 28th.
Okay. They arrested him for manslaughter, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I still haven't gone back and really watched that. The action.
It looks
of that
awkward, but you know when
Right.
you look at replays and it's like, oh yeah, this guy came in low and swept his legs and he flipped
Yeah,
upside
right.
down. Like
exactly. It looked weird, but not like malicious. Like he went like fucking Bruce Lee and did this big reverse roundhouse
it
kick.
sort
with
of
his,
looked like that to me.
I mean, but I mean, that's
it's
what
not like
ended
they're
up
showing
happening.
you a bunch of angles.
That's what ended up happening. I'm
Right.
saying, but it's not like he came in and was just like, "Shaw."
Yeah.
At least I didn't think so. Like I don't know how you end up in that position because I wouldn't think anybody on the ice would want to be in that type of upside down kind of position.
Unless you're trying to murder someone.
But there was apparently evidence of that happening to him doing it to somebody else.
12 years ago.
12 years
10
prior.
years ago, yeah.
Right. So,
Our investigation. Now, here's the difference. What we've seen, and you could still go on and watch the whatever it was, YouTube video, TikTok video of the incident and in all its gruesomeness. You know, it's kind of a faraway shot. It looks like it's shot from the crowd, maybe.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt that his jugular's been cut. And
Iron
he's-
Lotus.
and he gets up and starts to skate off, and it's just gushing out of him like a movie. And then he goes down again and dies at the hospital. So you can still see that, but what you're not getting is just tons of 50 different angles from all over the building
Yeah,
and
right.
the, and
You're
the
getting the
camera.
one.
You're getting that. So it's very hard to tell, in slow motion, and it's like you can tell
Yeah, it
he
was
got
like
that
a
ball knocked
British,
out.
like minor league hockey game or something.
Yeah,
so it
and he
wasn't-
played in the NHL briefly, in the AHL, so he's just bouncing around. Between.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's not like 4K fucking
Right.
12 cameras on the ice
Exactly.
filming this thing. It's not broad.
Now, the investigation, my guess would be that they've gone after literally anybody who was in the building that had a camera. They want to see what they captured. That's part of that months-long investigation we're talking
Yeah.
about is what did the team film? What is the arena film that's not been made for Sports Center highlights?
Sure.
And whatnot. Our investigation launched immediately following this tragedy. We've been carrying out extensive inquiries ever since to piece together the events which led to the loss of Adam in these unprecedented circumstances. We have been speaking to highly specialized experts in their field to assist in our inquiries and to continue to work closely with the Health and Safety Department at Sheffield City Council, which is supporting our investigation. Adam's death has sent shockwaves through many communities, from our local residents here to Sheffield, to ice hockey fans across the world. We know these communities will expect us to handle this investigation with the same professionalism, fairness, sensitivity as any other request that members of the public refrain from comment and speculation. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Which could hinder this process. Our thoughts remain with all affected. Sean Avery, we remember Sean, played in the NHL for over a decade.
Oh, yeah.
Said footage of the incident shows Petgrave was absolutely trying to make contact with Johnson in some way, but he was not trying to murder someone.
Yeah. Well, that's hence manslaughter and not murder.
Right. Premeditated murder.
Yeah. I mean, that's a weird gray area. I mean, it's okay. I know he died.
Yeah.
But if he would have checked him into the boards and he fell and hit his head on the ice, would that be manslaughter?
Yeah.
I don't. If you think that he did this intentionally and got his skate up into the guy's face, then you go with murder. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the fine lines between manslaughter and
I think if you were to go murder, you would be like,
oh, he went out there intending to.
Well, no. I think
there was a text message that said, "Next time we're on the ice, I'm gonna slit your throat."
Yeah, or there was guys in his locker room that heard him talking about giving the shot. I'm gonna take this motherfucker out.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, maybe you meant to concuss him, but you missed and you slit his jugular. At that point, that's fucking murder. You went out with the intent to harm somebody, and you ended up missing by a few inches and you slit his throat. That would be something where our investigation found out that 4 teammates in the locker room heard him talking about going after Adam Johnson in some malicious way.
Yeah.
That would help. I don't know that. They haven't said that, but that certainly would take it to another level. Did this kid make a move? Again, Sean Avery. Did this kid make a move that was very unorthodox? Do I think he was trying to make contact of some sort? Absolutely. Do I think he woke up and said, I'm going to murder someone today? No. I saw the hit, saw the leg move. It shouldn't have been where it was. It was terrible. Can't even watch the video back. Former player, NHL player Chris Therian reacted to. I was literally appalled and sickened by what I saw. It looked intentional. It was a kung fu kick. My eyes are not lying, telling me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean these guys. These guys skated before they could walk, and it's just everybody. You keep your skates down at all costs.
Yeah,
and no matter what, you know what I mean. The last thing you want is that skate in the air ever.
Are the Wings playing right now?
I have no idea why.
Because I was thinking about calling Drapes.
Oh.
And getting his opinion, but it'd be really rude to call him if they're in the middle of a game or something.
We'll assume that they are. I don't know. Well, it's only 6:44, so they're not playing yet. But I don't know if they have a game tonight. If he's getting ready for a game, it would be
he's
just
not
as
playing.
Rude. No, I understand. Yeah, just sitting here with Steve.
Huh?
So just sitting here with Steve. You
Yeah,
know,
me and
just
Steve.
getting ready for the game. What are you doing? Oh, hey guys, yeah.
Let me see if he's got time for a quick conversation. Is that fair?
Sure. Well, why not?
I mean, God damn it. I call McCarty, but
No, we don't have that kind of time.
Exactly. Exactly. For a quick.
Okay. Hey. I hope that guy that died had
something to do.
Yeah, I hope the guy that died had insurance. Because this part of the show is brought to you by your insurance expert. Are you paying too much for health insurance? Are you uninsured? Health insurance can be confusing. Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert is an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. Call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. That's 248-914-1173. Before you bleed out on the ice.
Yeah. I'll put the story aside. If Drapes texts back and says he has time, I think it'd be a little too rude to just call him, even though he's nice enough to maybe just answer the phone. But anyway, if he gets back and says he's got time, great. We'll blow on a call and see what someone that played at a very high level at a very fast speed thinks about that. You know, it'd be interesting to get actual guys like that's take.
Yeah, I mean yeah. I'd like to actually watch it again, just so I have a bearing on.
Yeah,
what actually happened.
You could pull it up.
I could
if you want. It's not gruesome in that
you don't really see it up close,
much,
right?
but it's gruesome in that you know the outcome and you see the blood pouring out of someone.
Yes.
So it's very gruesome. I mean, it would be on one of those Faces of Death videos for sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's one of those that you would definitely see on those, and it's a horrible story. Anytime you're in sports and you see some freak accident like that, I'm sure they'll go too far and make all these guys wear,
throw protectors.
Yeah, of some sort. And maybe that's not going too far. I mean, they wear those their whole career growing up, so I don't know that it's that big a deal.
Yeah.
I always thought it was goofy when the baseball players started wearing that thing over their chin, protecting their jaw.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now you're just used to it, and it doesn't bother me. The first time you saw it, it was like watching one of those NFL players wear the giant helmets. Remember those guys in the 90s and shit? Steve Wallace did it for a while. You had the Bills safety.
Yeah, my God, I know it.
Beebe? Was it Don Beebe?
Beebe, exactly right. There you go.
Wait, he was a receiver, though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
There were a couple Bills.
But he did special teams a lot, too.
True. Are you finding it?
It's harder to find.
I bet.
Just that video. Like this is all just like kind of news stories. I even did uncensored, and I can't.
Really? Isn't that weird?
I'd have to like really work to find it. It's hard to have a conversation while I'm trying to do that. So we'll let it go.
I went and there are certain videos out there. It drives me nuts. I can't find. That'll be one of them. Mm-hmm. That'll go away. So get it while you can. There's so many with commentary now that ruins it.
Yes, right.
And then
whatever this thing is now of somebody like watching somebody else's video and like not just like a reaction video, but like the split screen that all these fucking people are doing. It's like one of the most infuriating things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
It's the worst.
Who watches that on purpose?
Yeah.
You know, if you're funny or you're adding something to it or whatever, but I mean, there's literally like, there's a video and then there's ones where, you know, the guy's sitting there next to it going.
Yeah. There is no reaction.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch you watching the video. I just want to watch the video.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going there now.
It's getting bad. It's getting worse.
It's getting so bad, man. They're looking for clicks based on the names on the video that aren't yours.
Exactly.
Because no one gives a shit about what that dude thinks in his basement.
Yeah.
There are some out there that I think are worthy. When you have a surgeon who specializes in Achilles, and 10 minutes after the Aaron Rodgers incident happens, he's describing it and showing the replay and giving his medical expertise about what probably happened
add
here.
Something to it.
Great.
Fine. Perfect.
Great.
No.
A professional with some insight here can tell you what to look for, what you're seeing.
Yep. No, not the asshole.
What she just said. Yeah, the finger pointing smirk.
Yes, you know exactly right.
Oh, yeah. Yes. There's a lot of, like, I was watching when I got suckered in, because TikTok is where I see it, you know, because lots of TikTok videos. And it's like someone's watching the guy we've been talking about with card tricks. And it's like, yeah.
Like, I need to watch you watching him. Just
stop it. Or another one I like, Candace Owens. They'll have Candace Owens, and it's like, oh, what's Candace going on about today?
Yep.
Start watching it, and before 10 seconds, we're in a split screen, and there's some twat with fingernails just going,
right. Like I give a shit what you think.
What she says.
The ego on these fucking people.
Pointing and smirking as if to say.
Sad part is these assholes are probably making more money than us by doing this.
Yeah. If I was going to say it, this is what I would say.
Yeah.
It's like, but you can't say it like Candace, so you're just pointing to Candace saying it.
Right.
I don't think we could make those videos if it meant making real money. Where you and I just sit on camera going,
oh, if I got paid for it, fuck yeah, dude. I'd do it with my dick out if I got paid for it. I don't care. Whatever. For stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
If somebody's gonna watch it, I won't ever watch it.
Yeah.
But if somebody's gonna do it, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I had